got here, she had her name on the door over my name. Her parking spot was my parking spot this morning. This morning she was right there in the media center with me arranging tables. She introduced herself to the staff this morning in our meeting, and she was with the kids, and she's been right next to me the entire time.
I have learned that she is one of the busiest people that I know. And I know a lot of very busy people, but you know, they say if you need something done, ask a busy person, and she's an example of that, I think.
And really, you know, Miss Salter just brings so much already with her background and her experiences, and she's done a good job staying on her toes, which is probably one of the characteristics that I think is so important to just being a leader and just being ready for anything and just being flexible at all times.
But you had to learn how everything from utilities to buses, every dollar.
Just like every small business
owner.
owner.
Has to do it.
Has
So we're
to
more
learn.
like that now,
Right.
you know. The day as a principal, you know, you start very early in the morning. You're one of the first individuals on the campus. And then before you know it, the day's over. And now you're going and answering still other phone calls, other situations. So it's a busy, busy day.
She will be with me all day. We have several things planned. We've got some teacher walkthroughs that we'll be doing. We also need to stop by a home and visit a family just to check on them. We will be meeting with the guidance counselors as well to talk about testing and ironing out our schedule for FCAT Right. So we've got a slammed day today for sure.
I've got the walkie-talkie. I'm not quite sure what to do with it. I'm hearing a lot of needs come up that I'm kind of like, okay, how can I help?
That our school is a community and that we really all work together. Meeting with the teachers and sharing about successes of individual students, even successes of our peers, is really important. Just celebrating those positive aspects of our jobs and just knowing that we really do make a difference with those students, and just keeping in mind that the students are number one and everything we do is really for them, being deliberate, meaningful in everything that we do every day.
Paying attention. She's noticing things that I had no idea. How, you know, is there an iced tea container here? Who was that kid talking to? You know, she'll work. We go back to the office and she said, yes, he was just talking to that person. You know.
So we offer a large range from steel drums, orchestra. We're going to head into a band class here so you can experience a little bit of the band, right? So just making sure things are always smooth. So, yes. So we're going to walk this way. We're going to visit our steel.
She's had me going since the moment I walked in the door. The thing that I think is interesting is that truly the principal is really the CEO of her school, and that extends across all manner from, you know, being in charge of human resources, being in charge of the facility itself, making sure people have the supplies that they need, making sure that everybody's happy, that morale is high, and Principal Marsh is a very inspirational leader, so that carries through to everyone that she talks to. So I find that pretty amazing.
Exactly.
What you don't know is she's circled this campus about 4 times already.
I have.
We started this program about, I want to say 6 years ago as a before school option, and it quickly grew from that into a program we offered twice a day. Into the very next year it was 4 times, and now I'm turning students away.
To me, it's been terrific. I know a lot of teachers, but I don't know any principals. So to see her in action, I think is really eye-opening to see the different role that she has to play. So it's very interesting, and I'm learning a lot.
Yes, I've enjoyed it as well. I know we're only in second period, and it's time, and we feel like it should be later in the day. But just having you here, just to see kind of our procedures, which is always really important in a school, what procedures are set so that students know what to expect, parents know what to expect, and just sharing that. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to your feedback as well, just as a school, how we can continue to make things better.
I think that people probably don't realize the many things that a principal has to juggle. It's very impressive to see how many kids she knows by name, and I've already seen kind of where some problem areas for certain kids that kind of keep showing up, and that's a challenge. So she's acting as head of the leader for the teachers, the leader for the students, the leader for the support staff, the facilities manager, just many hats that she has to wear. And I hope that parents can really understand the complicated nature of running a school with 900 kids who all come from really different backgrounds. So that's a big challenge.
course. So we can walk around the office so you can see your office for the day.
Okay.
So we can start back here. Oftentimes we've got teachers that use this copy room. So our copy room is located in the front office, so all the teachers come up here to use it.
Great. So it's got lots of supplies and
We've
things
got,
for them.
which I'm sure like your
Excellent.
office, you've
Yeah.
got, high-powered copies.
But
So
I'm
we've
glad
got-
to see that the schools have some of the basic things like this,
We
because
do.
sometimes that's a huge problem.
We do,
just the technology.
I do limit paper to one case a semester, so that way, we're being mindful of our resources.
Right.
And then also the Rizzo, it copies, it's a little bit cheaper per copy if you have more than 100 copies. So this is a different machine here as well.
Great. Great.
And then Mr. Court, he's assistant principal for administration. He works real hard, a big part of the team to get things done. And then we've got Dr. Richardson. Hi. She's right here. She's assistant principal for curriculum. Just a large part of the team as well. Us all working together to make sure everything.
So are
is
you
perfect.
working on making sure that standards are met? Is that part of what you do? Or?
That's a piece of what we do, yes.
Yeah.
Right now, we just wrapped up our report card, so now we're reviewing data from the first semester
Okay.
and working with students that are struggling.
I see. Great. Great.
So she's wonderful. And then we've got our Deputy Jacobs. He's with us every day.
Okay.
He's a large part too.
Important man.
He teaches classes. He
Ah.
proofreads reports. He's always helpful. And then we have Miss Blakely. She's up here in the front office. And she runs the front office and helps keep everything organized. And then also we have a strong volunteer group. Each day we have different volunteers that come up and help different parent volunteers. So this is one of our parent volunteers that helps on Thursdays.
Thank you.
Yes, she does a great job. And then this is our bookkeeper, Miss Neely.
Hello.
She keeps all the financial things going and everything in order.
Great.
The team up in the front office, Miss Rudd is tremendous. She's my assistant and she helps me with everything. So she is really wonderful. And then we've got our clinic back here with Miss Fina. Here she is.
Hello.
This is our clinic.
That's great. It's a cold day and you don't have anyone in here. That's good.
Right.
Just got rid of all of them.
Okay.
So we do have our, students that may come up for medication or, for regular medication. And teacher mailboxes, and so that's our front office.
And how do you communicate with the teachers? Do you tend to do you send them emails?
With so much going on, you really need to find an effective way to communicate with teachers. And I found what seems to work is if I do one email with pieces of information in bulleted points. So I call mine housekeeping. So welcome to your office for the day. I try to be very organized. I think it's really important to be very organized just because you never know what's going to come your way. You need to be able to put your fingers on things when you need them. You need to have people that you need to call. You need to just be able to even delegate some things. You need to be organized in order to delegate. So here in my office, I try to be very organized. I have some little mementos. I've got my family, my dog, that type of thing. And so yeah, that's about it. I do have some water. This is very important. I have this water. They call it the tank because I drink a lot of water. So I invested in a little water thing.
Great.
So that's like my thing, my water thing.
That's good.
So that's my little personal,
Is there anything, since you were an assistant principal before, now you're principals, or anything about this, having the full responsibility that surprised you?
I really had the opportunity to work with some just fantastic principals. My principal, when I became an assistant principal at first, the principal I worked with was Miss Bell. She's currently the principal at Godby, and she was just fantastic. And I learned so much from her. And then following her was Miss Fitzgerald, and I really learned a lot from Miss Fitzgerald as well. And so, joining the principalship, of course, there's always going to be those things that are new. But they really just did such a good job of demonstrating what to do and just how to handle certain situations that, I feel comfortable, and especially having the staff. I mean, they're just key with having a good staff.